Right. Like, and I hate that shit. Like, if that's your only retort is, oh, you know, they're fetishizing you. Maybe I like it. How you know that's not my kink? What if my kink is having non-black women fetishize me? What if that's what gets me off? How dare you kink shame me? Like, that's why I said it's their projection of how other races of men view them, and because they can't accept that, they have to put it on us that, well, if everybody else views us as an object, then they must view you that way too. No, they don't. We're likable.
I mean, look, the data coming from online dating apps and social media is hard evidence. Like, black men are the most desired men on the planet.
Black Americans. Black American men. We got no, because
because Fufu, they be faking the phone.
Not even him. I can't think of a Jamaican name, but even the Caribbean
it be those fucking Nigerians going overseas.
Oh, I'm talking about all of them. They all claim to be black when it's convenient.
I mean, shout out to the Nigerians though. Y'all cool with me, but
I mean, the food is alright. I do like the food. The suya is good. I do like suya.
I don't know what that is. I mean, I like my jollof rice and chicken, but
soya is just.
But that don't mean that should be taking over the Essence Festival.
That is true. That's another conversation.
I know.
But that's my point. Like, yo, you have a bad rap. Like, if the common denominator amongst all other groups of men is you are fun to have relations with, and that's it. That's an internal problem that y'all need to work out amongst yourselves.
Look, black men have been desired since
forever.
Since women, like, since World War II, when they were being, like, Asian and European women were discovering, oh, these guys are nice.
And I think black women don't really realize how good they have it. Like, they really don't. Like, black American men are we're the most egalitarian. Out of all other races of men, we are the most egalitarian.
Because we live in a fucking matriarchy.
I wouldn't say we live in a matriarchy. The data doesn't support that.
No, I'm talking about within the black community.
I'm saying even the black community, we don't live in a matriarchy. The data does not support that.
You sure about that?
When people say matriarchy, how I look at matriarchy is I'm looking at the structure of power. Black women don't out earn us.
No, I'm not talking about economically. I'm talking about
like a family.
I'm talking about the family unit.
The family unit. I think that's more of a common. I think that's a misconception that we see played out on TV more so than anything.
Well, no, most black families are single mom led families.
Not really, because again, most black men are involved in their kids' lives. They just may not live there. So the mom.
Then that doesn't count.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. We don't live in a matriarchy because in most cases.
Well, I'm talking about who leads the house.
It's not black. It's more so egalitarian.
Okay.
In my opinion. I mean, well, I'll put it like this. When we say, because, black people have this weird idea of what leading a household is, so we're just going by financial, like who pays the bills gets to have to say, since that's typically how it was done in America, it's pretty much egalitarian. It's mostly egalitarian, and it's more black men who would lead the household in that regard than black women.
That's the ones who are in the household. If they're in the household, yes, but my criticism is within the black community, there aren't black men in the homes. This is why a lot of these neighborhoods are bad, not necessarily because this particular family doesn't have a father, but the whole community is fatherless.
But that's a fair point. I see what you're saying. But even within that is such a small minority as well. When most black men are involved in their kids, now maybe they may not live in the same house.
So I'm not talking about.
Are we talking about just living in the house? Everybody's living in the same house.
So I'm not talking about like as far as how much black fathers are involved in their children's upbringing. That's a separate issue. We already know that's been defeated. That Oprah talking.
So we're just talking about them living in the same house.
I'm talking about actually being in the home, making the decisions.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I would say
that's what I mean by matriarchy. Like they're in the home, making the decisions in the home.
Fair enough. So in that regard, I'll give you that. I can see that point of view. Okay, so if we even go with the matriarchy aspect, then that's a whole nother conversation. I'll say, well, matriarchy doesn't work. But that's
that's my point.
But that's a whole nother conversation. But no, like I said though, like we are the most egalitarian by virtue of and this does play a part in the fact that many of us were raised were primarily with our mothers. Well, not all of us, but since that seems to be the common trouble of, you live with your mom. Yeah, we tend to be more egalitarian because we had to live with women. So we get, but
I like that I had a father and a stepfather, but
I mean, I had
most guys didn't.
Yeah, but some had uncles, grandfathers. There was a man present. But for most of, like, my situation, it was mostly me and my mom, but I had uncles, grandfathers, and stuff like that. So, excuse me, I learned how to get along. I can get along with a woman to an extent.
And see, this came up with Media Man. Shout out to Media Man. He was talking about how now women who have been shaming these guys for decades are now saying, we need you guys to come back to the community to be mentors.
I was going to get to that.
Oh
no, you're fine. But I was going to get to that.
You probably know more about it, so you can.
Oh yeah, no, that's not a new thing.
I remember when Dennis Sperling, shout out to him too. He was talking about he was actually trying to coax brothers into doing it, and I'm like, I'm not. No. I was in the politest way I could. I was like, I'm not dealing with these bastards.
No, and here's the thing. I support Media Man's version of it because I think if we're going to do it, you need to pay these people.
Now, I like what he said because he's like, we will do it on the condition that you meet this criteria.
Yeah.
But Dennis Sperling didn't say that. He was just saying, yeah, you brothers should become mentors.
Sacrifice yourselves
doing that shit
for the community.
And then on top of that, again, shout out to Dennis though, but he was like, he don't even like dealing with kids. So if you don't even like dealing with kids other than your own children, why are you going to try to? That's my whole thing with. I hate when people do stuff like that. Like, if you're
not willing to do it, but you want other people to do it.
I mean, it's just like when Kevin Samuels was like telling brothers to be in like black relationships, and the last relationship he was in was with a Latina. Like,
was she Afro-Latino or Latina?
See, I'm not sure because she did an interview with Dennis Sperling. She said she was Mexican, but I thought she was Dominicana. I don't know. She could be Afro-Mexican. I don't know. But she didn't show herself on camera.
Which is fair. I understand why she wouldn't.
Yeah, I understand.
But that does speak to the point of, again, how oftentimes what I see is you have black quote-unquote thought leaders, and I use that term very loosely, who want to save the community, which is admirable, but aren't willing to do the tasks that they want black men like me to do.
And that's why the passport rules diverged from
the black man. And I don't blame them for that, because again, now Media Man, I'll give him props. At least his wife is black, far as we know. We never seen her, but I'm gonna take his word for it. Brother ain't got no reason to lie.
Then even certain pro-blackity blacks have
white wives.
I'm not gonna say who on here because I don't need to smoke, but you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I know. but that's my point. Like going to the mentorship thing. Well, I know we were talking about the whole, being fetishized thing, but it goes back into that because the same men that you talk shit about, but even when the sissy, can you say sissy on YouTube? Okay, even when
YouTube gotten really bold. You can use the F and R words on here now.
Oh, when that faggot, I can say that. All right, when that faggy talking about some black men, heterosexual black men are cancer to the community, and these hyenas agreed with him, are the same black women asking the cancers to raise their little bastards, mentor your bastards. Hell no. And I keep driving this point home every time somebody tries to say, why don't you volunteer your time?
And like me and man said, the first question is, where are the fathers to these children?
Not even that. I don't even.
He was even like, he's like, if you're just honest and say
he's in jail,
either he's in prison or
he not around,
he doesn't want to be involved. He's like, I'll take that. At least that's an honest answer.
He better than me because I don't give a fuck. And here's why I don't give a fuck. Because you're not about to sit here and talk about I ain't shit, I ain't this, but want me to mentor your bastard? Fuck that. And fuck you. Fuck that child. Fuck the sperm and the egg that came together to make you, bitch. Like, no. Like, that's the shit that irritates my fucking soul, how you will demean black men so badly, but then turn around and asking the same black men to save the community. What the fuck I look like taking my black ass with a fucking doctorate to the fucking hood to teach your child how to fucking read.
I already said I'm not Nipsey Hussle.
When you won't even take 5 minutes to review his fucking homework. Like, and then you want motherfuckers to do it. Then you want motherfuckers to do it for free. You have lost your rabbit ass mind. Like, if it was a sport, you bitches will find your bitch will. Let me calm down. If it was a sport, black women found a way to put their kids in any fucking sport. And then even the coaches are getting tired of it because the coaches are younger now. They're like my age or like millennials and Gen Z now.
But they always been. They just look younger to us now because we older.
No. Well, yeah, that's true too. But no, when I was younger, most of the football coaches was like, in their they were.
Yeah, they were in their 30s
and 40s. Yeah. So now we're doing it, and mainly Gen Z, and these are college students. They're like, I don't want to do this shit because the parents are always bringing the kids, the moms are always bringing the kids.
I wouldn't want to be in the education field.
No, I'm not talking about teachers. I'm not even talking about teachers. I'm talking about fucking coaches.
I know, but I'm saying just like whether coaching or education, I wouldn't want to be in anything where I gotta deal with little children because I don't want to deal with their parents.
Fair enough, because I refuse. Because you got one time to cut. If I ever became a teacher. And actually, one of my old high school teachers, she came to my hooding ceremony.
And then being a black male, it only takes one time for a kid to make some accusation because they mad at you. Yep. They will fuck your whole career up, if not just take away your freedom. I'm not dealing with little kids. That's why, even with martial arts, I only teach adults.
It depends what you find as little kids. So, I mean,
unless it's like a family member or a close family friend or something. But other than that, I only deal with adults.
I think it depends. Well, if I were to teach, it depends. I would say maybe high school, only because one of my old high school teachers.
No, high school is probably the worst.
It is. Well, it depends on the high school. I'm not going to say which school she teaches at, but she mentioned when she came to my hooding ceremony, she's like, if you ever want to teach, you should come to this high school because we have the position open. No, but that high school, I will go teach at. That high school.
Like, unless it's like a chartered school.
I'm not going to say. I'm not saying the name of the school.
No, don't. No, I'm just saying if it's a.
It's like, a good school. I'll put it like that.
Like, I'm not doing anything in public education. Like, it has to be like private or chartered.
It's a good high school. I would teach that high school because I would teach at that high school. But outside of that, no, I'm not mentoring shit. I mean, my dad goes and he coaches and all that, and that's commendable to him. But again, you didn't spend that much time with your own kid, but you're going to mentor, which is fine. Do you? I'm not mad. But I'm not doing that shit. I don't got kids. And I'll be damned if I do it for free. Now, if you were paying me a certain amount of money and then, bringing your child, feed and all that shit, cool. Like, it was some programs they had for black kids in Baltimore. And all the parents had to do was supply lunch. Pack your kid a lunch. These bitches wouldn't do that. Everything else was free and covered. The breakfast was covered. The transportation to their field trips was covered. And I think only thing they had to do was pack your child a lunch or give them a couple dollars to buy something to eat. These bitches complain. So as far as I'm concerned, honestly, and as bad as it sounds, black women, I'm gonna say it, black women are the bane of the community. And like I told you, they're promoted as the heart of the black community because that's just Democrat bullshit. Their primitive mating standards are a problem. Like, seriously, the only demographic I ever really seen collectively at large that chooses degenerates, thugs, criminals, the worst of your group to mate with, the worst of the worst to mate with, and then try to get men like me to take over after the fact. That dual mating strategy shit doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't. It doesn't work anymore. This isn't Gen X. This isn't boomers where your grandma may have got some side dick and got pregnant, and your dad may not be your real dad, but he the dad that came in and raised you. That time is done. We're not doing that.
Yeah, because that's another thing they've been trying to say. Oh, you guys need to get an older black man because they're the ones who are still willing to be stepdads. I'm not.
No, they're not.
I'm not. I mean, maybe older than me, but I'm not.
Gen X not doing it. See, the difference with Gen X.
No, they were trying to say Gen X men will do it.
No, they won't, because Gen X, their kids are grown. Their kids are grown and done. They are done. They'll come and be a stepdad, yeah, but I guarantee.
Well, that's what they were trying to say. Like, you can find Gen X that's still willing to be stepdads. I'm not.
Here's the thing, though. The ones they find out willing to do it.
Maybe the older Gen X.
No. The ones that I wouldn't even say that. The ones that are willing to do it are the ones who ain't got no options.
Yeah.
And those are the men they don't want. Like I said, the only men who get purposely put into to be stepdads are motherfuckers who are responsible or the ones they don't find attractive.
Yeah.
So I'd rather a bitch call me ugly. I take it as a badge of honor if a bitch call me ugly. Especially if a black woman in America calls me a black American woman calls me ugly or broke or dusty or misogynistic. I prefer misogynistic, actually. I'll take that one. I love that one. I love being cold. You hate black women. Yes, I love it. Say it again, bitch. Say it again.
I've had white women call me misogynistic, but
nobody cares what they think. They call anything misogynistic.
Well, yeah, liberal white women call hot dogs misogynistic. How dare this be long and pointy? Why can't it be round?
Right. But no, like I said,
make the hot dog round.
I take it as a badge of honor.
So you want a
donut.
You want a sausage.
Of that.
Like like a.
I know the patty.
Yeah, you want a sausage patty. You don't want a hot dog. Well, a hot dog can be anything. Okay. Like I mean, I'm joking, but this is the level of reasoning I hear from bitches talking about masculinity. Like, you're just into toxic masculinity, and
yes,
this comes from like liberal white women, and I'm like, no, this is just regular male pattern behavior. Well, that's how you define it. Like, masculinity can be. I was like, no, you can't just make masculinity anything. I was like, masculinity is a culture. You can't just redefine it in terms that you like. Then what's the point of even calling it masculinity anymore? Just
Like I said, I take it as a badge of honor. When I never got told you date white women yet. I'm waiting for that one. That's the one I'm waiting for.
Have I heard?
I never got
the
told
funny thing is, my preferences or whatever. But the funny thing is, I would prefer. I've heard it a few times, but actually less rarely than I would have expected. Like, I remember in college, my friends took, like, they was like, this is what I was dating black chicks. They was like, you end up with a white chick. Close, got an Asian. But
I wouldn't even say closer. So much better. But that's neither here nor there.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say it. Asian, but I ain't gonna. But yeah, because I don't want to embarrass my wife. But yeah, look, I've rarely got that, but I just couldn't deal with Baltimore black chicks. Even that's what I was telling you earlier. Like, even when I was into black chicks, I couldn't date chicks in this area. Like, they had to been like from far. If they had a 4-0 or 443 number, it had to be a far-flung number way out in like Colombia or some shit. I was about to say Hagerstown, but ain't no black people really in Hagerstown. No, there actually is. I know that black people out there. I say it's just not a lot, not compared to like PG County and et cetera, et cetera. Well, yeah, PG is trash though now. Like, PG isn't like most of the affluent black people are moving into Charles County. Pretty much, they're leaving PG County.
All the way in Wakanda.
Where they're like way out in like the nicer parts, like Fort Washington or Upper Marlboro.
Well, when I say PG County, I'm because I only know Upper Marlboro because that's where my aunt lives. So
yeah, but that's not. They're the beacon but they're not representative of the entire county. Cause
that's the only part of PG County
the PG County I'm more familiar with are Greenbelt and Hyattsville. And Langley Park.
Oh, I don't know nothing about it. I only know about Upper Marlboro, which is, it was cool. But even there, I don't want to date nobody there. It's just a bunch of Africans and resume chasers.
Well, that's the whole Washington area, just a bunch of resume chasers. I can't.
Even though
I couldn't do it.
I know I could compete, it's just not worth it. Like,
it's bad when even white men don't want to date women in the Washington area. I mean, not black women. I'm saying like
just in general.
In general, like.
Right, because they have to pick of the litter if anybody.
Because people the women who tend to live there are trying to chase their little political or government aspirations. So
their resume, they're chasing a lifestyle. They want I want to be a high earned 6-figure.
They all want to be like Hillary Clinton out there,
pretty much.
Plus, or Kami Haha,
with kids on top of it, and I'm like, nah, you're not getting both. That is crazy.
And a pit bull.
But anyway, back to the version we were originally talking about. Yeah, like, just because other groups fetishize you and you don't like it, doesn't mean other races of women fetishize us. And even if they
even if they do, I like it.
Right.
I don't mind them saying, yeah, we want to be with black men because I want the experience.
Right. Who are you to tell me I don't like being objectified?
I'm a dude, so that works in my favor. It doesn't work in their favor because they have a different mating strategy than we do.
Exactly. It hits. That's why that hits back to my point again. One, black women are the bane of the community because one, they have primitive mating standards, and two, objectively, they just make up shit as they go. Like, you can't be oppressed and then try to put your oppression on everybody else because whatever you.
But yeah, they're always in the comment section whenever it's like something about passport bros or going overseas or something like a O'Shea Duke Jackson video. Shout out to him, where he'll be criticizing like something, and all these guys be in the comment section like, that's why I don't mess with sisters, and he's pro blackity black, so he's gonna like. No, I mean I
didn't say anything.
So he's gonna like attack because he was attacking like I didn't appreciate his take on Jamie Foxx saying this guy always trying to had these pro black talking points but dates white, and I get it, but I just don't find the logical connection between you being pro, like maybe you can break it down better than O'Shea, but I don't get why if you are like pro-black you have to date black, like because even back as far as the movie School Days, that was a
I
thing.
get it though.
I was like,
I get it, but I get it. I understand why they have that feeling.
I understand why they have the feeling. What I'm unclear about is where is the logic to
No,
that?
I understand the logic too. So to me, the logic behind it is no different than, let's do it like this. So yes, so you have this group over here, this group over here. If I marry out to that group, my resources go towards that group because typically in the U.S. when a man marries a woman, typically his assets will go to her if something would have happened to him, and typically those assets that woman usually going to put towards her family, and not the family they create together per se, not just that, but her family, like her parents, her side of the family. So when we're talking about passing on, I'm not even going to talk about the DNA and eugenics part. I think that's a little out there. But when we're talking about passing on wealth and assets and things like that, yes, I can see it from that perspective. Because that's men do that too. So that is the refrain I always hear. Well, your assets are going to go to that community, but that's like not really. Your assets are going to go to the family you created with that person. Like how I don't see like saying that it's going to go to that community. First of all, the black dollar doesn't even recycle in the black community itself more than once. That's not true. That's been debunked. But that's another conversation. But think about it like this.
Well, okay, taking that for granted, say that the black dollar in the black community does recycle more than once in the black community, which I'll leave that up in the air. But even still, if you created a mixed race family with someone who's non-black, that's where the money is going to. How?
So look at it. I would say
because most black families don't live in black communities because most of these black communities are, again, going back to our earlier point, are headed by single mother households. So these aren't
the best areas.
These aren't communities where there's typically a husband, wife, and children.
That's fair.
So where they are like. PG is an anomaly within the United States. Like they were historically like the wealthy black community in the country. Like that's been written about for decades, how they were like this unique. Because I mean, yeah, there was some in history like these up and coming prominent black communities, and then they get attacked or whatever happens to disenfranchise them. But PG was unique. Like that is not common across the country that you have these affluent black communities. Most black communities are broken.
That's fair.
And so where you did find prominent black, like nuclear black families, it was usually in suburban neighborhoods.
Right. Now I'm not taking that away, but what I'm saying.
So the dollars were not circulating back into like, you know, Baltimore or DC or Philly or New York or Harlem or Chicago or New Orleans or wherever like that. So I don't get the pro-black, but then that's the other pro-black talking point is that you need to move back into those communities as well.
That's a different conversation.
But yeah, that's a different conversation.
But to your point about the money leaving out, so I look at it like this. So when you have white dudes who may marry a black woman, or white people in general who decide they want to marry y'all, particularly black, the family says we're going to cut you out the will. So that means your family, that family you create, if you so to marry, you don't get access to the family house, the family money, things like that. So, but like I said, this argument is I get you, but this argument,
so if by their line of reasoning, not yours per se, but like if their line of reasoning is whoever you marry, your money goes to their community, then by that logic alone, that means that black women should be marrying white men because by their logic, whoever you marry, your money is going to that woman's community. And but I answered right. But you see how most white men will say, well, most white families will tell their kids, and this is what white women have said, that I will get cut off. But those are white women. I'm talking about
even the men.
I'm talking about but the men. Usually, those men are the ones who make the money. So if they're the breadwinner, it's like they don't need mommy and daddy's money.
You just get counted the family money.
Yeah, but they still making their own money. So again, by their own metric, because again, most black men aren't receiving generational wealth from their families. True. So it would be the same thing. It would be the same reason if a white man marries a black woman and then he gets cut off from his generational wealth, as opposed to black men who don't have who by and large don't have that generational wealth. Then their money would be going to that woman, their wife's community, the black woman's. But that's not happening. So that, to me, that defeats their whole talking point about.
But that's what it sounds like to me. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm saying that's the only logic I can see behind it.
I mean, so if that's their strongest line of reasoning, that's pretty weak. But that is what I always hear, like from my old friend John or whatever. Like, well, the problem is money going to the other community. Like, what? To me, also my other problem with that is you're pocket watching. That, to me, that's also another form of pocket watching. Like, you shouldn't be marrying this non-black woman because that means, look, brother, you're successful. That money should be staying in the black. Why are you why are you checking what I make? So that's my other problem with that. It's a form of pocket watching as well. Like you're basically punishing a successful black man by saying
he should only limit his dating pool.
You should limit your dating pool only to black women to keep your money within the black community. And that's still, again, that doesn't even make sense, because if someone wants their money to intentionally go into the black community, they will make an effort to do so. The richest black man in the world back in the day, what's his name? You know, that has the museum. Reginald F. Lewis. He married a Filipino woman, but he established a black history museum here in Baltimore. Thurgood Marshall married a Filipino woman.
So, just to be clear, I disagree with if you're black.
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, I disagree with the notion that if you're black, you have to stay within the black community. I disagree with that vehemently. Only because I see it as hypocritical. Here's why I say that. I'm gonna respect her title. SCOTUS Brown has a white husband. Mm-hmm. Not only is her husband white, I think he's the brother-in-law of one of the Senate members that was doing the choosing for the Supreme Court for her seat.
Well, politics is all cronyism.
It's all cronyism anyway. But that's my point, though, and that's why I hate the pro-black people when they say black men have to stay within black, because your biggest support, like the biggest icons that black women worship, all marry white men, and in the same breath, you will talk about how dangerous white men are when it's convenient. But yeah, y'all go and marry them. So to me, it just doesn't make sense. Going back to the point about the mentorship, if black men are so dangerous and we're offering you every 4 hours or whatever number they make up, because the number changes. First it's every 30 seconds, then it's every 4 hours. It's always some crazy number. Why are you asking us the men who you say are so dangerous to mentor your children.
You can't attack people and then expect them to.
I told that to a feminist. So I love when feminists say, "Oh, we need male allies," and I'm like, no. You cannot call men evil.
The irony of feminism is
you need
men
to enforce it.
You need men to embrace it for it to work.
Yes. I was actually a friend of mine. I'm not going to say her name because we're not friends anymore. Because she decided for us not to be friends anymore. But I told her, like, I commented on something and she actually saw. But I told some feminist woman, some white feminist, I was like, feminism is we allow feminism. You didn't fight for anything. And she was white too. I didn't say white women didn't fight. I just said in general, you didn't fight for any rights. They were given. You were given the rights you have. And my friend was like, how could you say to them? I'm like, I didn't go into it, but I'm like, but you are. You, like, honestly, if men decided today.
A higher criticism of feminism is when they try to call it human rights. If your human right comes at the expense of someone's labor, it's not a human right.
Right, that's just racism with extra steps.
Yeah. I mean, that is not a right, it's a privilege because it's predicated on someone else's labor, which is one of the things feminism needs male allies for it to work, or it would
you're
disintegrate.
saying it too nicely. The point is, if men decided today to make this shit,
well, I have women followers, so I try to put it to them.
That's understandable. I was going to say, look, if men decided today to make this Handmaid's Tale, who's going to stop us?
But then you're playing into their paranoia because they all think that
that's going to happen.
That you get rid of feminism and the Handmaid's Tale.
And my argument to them is always,
and the show doesn't even follow the book
exactly.
But anyway, that's a whole.
No, but my argument to that is because it's mostly white women who had this fantasy of a Handmaid's Tale happening. I was like, there was no feminism in 1619. There was no feminism. So what's your excuse? There was no feminism during slavery. So what is your excuse? What is your excuse now?
Feminism to me is more anti-family than anti-men.
No, but my argument has always been a white feminist when they make these claims of women were discriminated against. Like, bro, y'all own nearly half of the slaves.
They're the most privileged class in America.
Right.
White females.
Exactly.
Even white men will say that.
Yes. Because they get tired of the shit too. Even though they're the ones who implement it, but that's a whole other conversation. Yeah. But the point is, like, bro.
They did allow it, so.
They allowed it. Like, white men. I'm sorry.
But that just shows they're not that evil. Like, if they're the ones that allowed this bullshit to happen in the first place, they can't be that fucking evil.
And yet y'all still marry them. Like I said, I don't care. Every time I see a non-white woman complain about a non-white woman say white men are evil in this, but turn around and marry them, you lost all credibility with me. Same thing with black women.
The same thing. Trump's numbers don't lie. As much as they hate Trump, a lot of them were secretly voting for him because you can't hate someone that won by that big of a fucking margin.
Bro, when the exit poll, so I was talking to a mutual friend about this, right? And he was talking about how, black women have a right to be mad because of how the vote turned out and they're losing their rights. And I'm like, they can be mad, but don't blame black men. Black men had nothing to do with it.
Black men still vote, even though this is the largest margin of black men that voted
ever.
That voted, not voted ever, but voted Republican or voted for Trump. Still like about 78% of them still voted for Kamala.
Over 3/3.
And so to see someone like Spike Lee criticizing us, I unfollowed his dumbass.
And that's my point. And
Obama, this nigga lost his ever-loving African-ass mind to sit there and in a public forum and finger wag at black men and tell them that they ought to vote for Kamala, and that if they don't, I
remember I saw it.
He basically said, you guys aren't sophisticated enough to have any criticisms against her other than that she's a woman. Like, he literally said, like, I mean, and his Obamaism, like, I see that, some of these black men, seem to have a problem with a woman voting for the Vice President Kamala Harris, and what I see, I don't think that they have a criticism other than she's a woman, and I think these brothers have to step up and do better.
And
like, nigga, shut the fuck up.
Here's the issue I have with that argument.
Fucking tether.
Is one, yes, while there are some,
like he literally said that black men are too stupid to have political opinions that differ from
black women,
the platform. Like, first of all, you could criticize on the fact that we don't even know what she really stands for, and then you could also criticize her for the fact that she said when she was given a platform on The View, she wasn't going to fundamentally do anything more differently than Biden. So if you disagree with Biden's politics or whatever, that is your criticism. Especially when she literally said she doesn't see, because she didn't want to criticize her boss. I get that, but you're running your own campaign. You should be able to say, well, this is what I'm going to do differently here. Without criticizing him, you can say, well, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. She couldn't even do that. She's a horrible, she's horrible at
answering questions.
Answering questions that aren't already pre-selected. Exactly. Like, but it's like, no, it was plenty of criticisms to have for her that black men might have. For one, you're assuming that they're all Democrat or that they all already agree with the Democratic platform for this presidential election, or you're assuming that they might not have a problem with the fact they weren't even given a general election. They were just saying she's gonna be it. That's it.
I mean, you're not wrong. My take has always been, again,
I might have voted Democrat if they had allowed what's his name, to run Democrat. They not only did they not allow Dr. Cornel West to run as a Democrat, they actively ran a smear campaign on him, basically trying to say he was he wasn't paying child support and all this and that to undermine his campaign. Because it wasn't Republicans that were doing this. This was Democrats, because Republicans had nothing to lose from him running.
I just think it's crazy how you ran the smear campaign you ran against a prominent black man like Dr. Cornel West.
The dude was in the Matrix.
He didn't pay his child support. Like, that is racist as shit.
They ran that common stereotype against black men.
He's an absentee father. Yo, yeah. That is insane.
And that came from the Democrats. That did not come from Republicans.
No, Republicans just call you a nigger.
Because he wasn't even running as a Democrat at this point. At first he was going to run for the Reform Party. Then the Reform Party was going through some political corruption or some shit, so he switched to the Green Party. Then the Green Party said, no, we want to run that little crazy bitch again, Joe Stein, who will never win a fucking election ever, but they just keep been running her for the past 20 years. Put her, so he went independent, and he was gaining some momentum amongst black people who
I remember he definitely was. And then I know Maryland was one of the states that said you cannot, even though he was allowed, they changed the rules at the last minute to say, oh yeah,
he wasn't allowed on the ballot, but Kennedy was, after he'd already dropped his fucking election. He was already running with Trump, and so a guy who had already dropped his whole election and was now running with Trump was still allowed on the ballot, but this man wasn't, because supposedly he didn't have enough whatever to meet the criteria. That's some bullshit, and that's why I was like, if there was ever any inkling for me to ever vote Democrat again, that is gone, because that was the most fucked up thing to do to that man. Yep.
I mean, like I said, my take has always been one. You know what? It's gonna sound, no, I'm gonna be real. No, I'm gonna say it. I don't trust black women who marry white men. Like, no, I'm for real. Like, I don't trust you. And the same way black women don't trust black men who marry out, I feel the same way. I don't trust black women who marry white men.
I don't think they don't trust us, but they think we
marry out for the same reason they marry out, and it's not. And that's my point. I don't trust black women who are in prominent positions who marry white men. And that's my stance.
A lot of the black men who date out aren't divestors, but a lot of the black women who date out are divestors. A lot of the black men who dated out were simply dating the women
that were around
them when they went off to college or in their environment or whatever. It wasn't an active, I only want the white ladies. Now there are those guys out there like, and usually, if it ain't snowing, I ain't going.
And you see the white women they get are the rejects.
Well, that was O'Shea's point.
No, but they usually are.
But then because when O'Shea said that, it was funny and all. But but then I look at the type of women he liked. I'm like, bro, especially because he tried to defend, like today, he did a video defending. Well, no, he wasn't defending Lizzo. He was saying she got her Negro wake up call, which was funny. But then in the same video, he was saying ever since she started losing weight, Ozempic. But we know it's Ozempic. We know. But anyway, ever since she started losing weight, he was like, yeah, she ain't looking bad. I'm like, dude, so you trying to say the Jamie Foxx new girlfriend is mid, but you gonna try to say Lizzo is pretty? Like I was like, yeah, you lost me. I was like, you lost any validation with that criticism, saying most of these guys who date out are dating mids.
No,
but then you try to say Lizzo. No, because first it was about Jamie.
You can't use Jamie Foxx.
No, because first he used Jamie, and then because all these guys attacked him in that video, he then made a follow-up video to that and said, yeah, all y'all defending Jamie and saying that. He's like, all y'all dating out and all this sort of stuff. Most of y'all dating mids, blah, blah, blah. But it was like, all right, cool. Maybe that's true. But then again, a lot of those guys who date out aren't necessarily dating out to find prettier women. They're finding women that they find are more compatible, which is why a lot of them are going overseas, because he was trying to say all these passport bros are just, except for Austin Holloman, are dating mids. Which, whatever, but yeah, I ain't gonna go there. But
I'm gonna keep my
but even then, most of those guys aren't going overseas to find baddies. Like if the whole thing is, well, if you date now, she needs to be a baddie. No, nigga, you're part of the problem.
Not gay.
Like
that's what women would say.
Yeah, they're not dating out to find baddies, although they can. They're dating out because they find those women more preferable. So that whole comment, because that's the other pro blackity black point, is all these guys who are dating out are just dating mids. They're not even baddies. Like they're not dating out to find baddies.
What grown man with what heterosexual?
A lot of those dudes say that. Even some of the dudes in the passport bro movement.
That's
like they be
that's
always talking about.
That's what
they be like, yo. They be always saying, they be like, all right. Oh yeah, you at such and such, where the baddies at? You in Thailand, where the baddies?
So here's my take on it, and I hate to use the talking points of fags and fag hags. I hate to use it.
I mean, if it has merit.
It doesn't, but it does. Like this whole obsession. First of all, no grown man, no straight man saying baddies. Leave that to the bitches.
They are saying.
And them niggas is gay.
Bad bitches.
And that's some gay shit. Yes, I said it. Yep. I imagine y'all want to say, y'all, everybody call a black man gay. Because some of y'all Negroes do it.
Because I do be hearing dudes, but you ain't got no bad bitch though, son. You ain't got no bad bitch. Oh, I got a bad bitch. Oh, you got a bad bitch?
And that's that.
All right, let me see the pictures. You got a bad bitch? Let me see that. You ain't got no bad bitches.
But mind you, that's that primitive maiden shit I talked about earlier. Most black dudes who ain't accomplished
shit. And then remember that's also the thing when I was saying all these niggas be saying they crack the same chick. They was like, Tawisha? Yeah, y'all bagged it. He was like, man, I was fucking her the other week. Yo, I had it. Yo, I was with her a few months ago. A word? Yeah, man. I'm like, why are y'all bragging about sticking the same thing, man? That's like disgusting. Like, y'all got some STIs.
The dudes who don't have much to accomplish in life
walking around with a leopard dick.
Pretty much. Like their only accomplishment is, yo, I fucked this many women. I will give black women some leeway here. Yes. Dudes who that's the only thing they can brag, that's the only thing they can have to their names are lame. I'll give black women that. However,
those are the ones they want.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But you bitches reward those same men with pussy. Like you continue the cycle. Primitive fucking made us that. I'm trying to tell you. Look, we already know humans are animals. We are all humans are animals, but black women have some of the most primitive fucking mating standards, and it's fucking atrocious.
If I was into black women and I was rich, man, I'd be an asshole. That's all I'll say. I'll leave it at that.
And you know what? They'll love you for it, and they will worship the ground you walk on.
Just pull up in the Aston Martin. Hey, bitch.
And it'll work.
This dick ain't gonna suck itself.
And I guarantee you it will work. And the sad thing is, it'll work. It will work on a lot of women, not just black women, but it will work on a lot of women, not just black women. I'm gonna be fair.
I might have to edit this. This shit gonna get demonetized.
But that's my point. Like, it's fucking primitive mating standards on both ends. And the dudes who removed themselves out of that cycle, oh, y'all niggas lame or y'all gay. What? Because I choose quality over quantity? Because the women, if I choose to have sex with, I can take them out in public. Now I'm gay. Really? That make sense. And this is where black women.
And black women call black men gay for anything. That's what you like ice cream, nigga. That's gay.
Yo, it was this dumb bitch on Instagram.
I remember this. I'm not even making up. That was literally like something on Facebook.
No, I saw that one. Nigga, like, you ordering dessert?
Like, dude told that dude if he like ice. I'm like, damn, we can't even like ice cream.
It was a bitch that said if a man,
if you go to the gym.
That was a faggot.
Gay.
That was a faggot that said that.
No, that was some chick saying that too.
Because they probably heard. Well, it was a faggy that was on. Yeah, but I'm abusing the fuck out of this now. We can say it. This faggot that was on Instagram was saying that they called him the DL whisperer. Talking about, yeah, girl, if he go to the gym a lot or he's into like basketball, football, that nigga probably gay. Bitch, shut your punk ass up.
No, yeah. Like, so that. But no, it's women that say if you always like going to the gym after work. You're gay. Why would you want to be in a gym with other men?
It's women there too.
First of all, it's women there.
You know, black women don't go to the gym. So
exactly. That was about to be my follow-up point. It's like, yeah, this is because black women don't go to the gym. And then the funny thing is, and I hate to say it, actually I don't hate to say it, but even when you see them in the gym, they're usually the most out of shape ones.
That is true.
Like, tell me that's not true. Like when we go to Planet Fitness, and even when there are black women there, out of all the women, they're still the ones who are the most work to do.
The ones that are mostly out of shape are usually the black women and some middle-aged Latinas. But I will say this: the black women and black women understood. Once you get in shape, you are the most physically appealing.
If you
like just get in shape.
Spending money on a gym membership would be far better than getting your nails and hair done,
bro.
Like I don't. Like even my little niece, like obsesses over her hair and she's overweight. I'm like, you would get way like I don't want her to get attention like that because she's still a teenager, but she would have much more positive self-image if she got herself in shape as opposed to always.
You're misogynistic. I can hear that.
As opposed to always worrying about her hair because I'm the one that got to clean up all this shit. So. And on top of it, like her brother always makes fun of her, calling her a fat ass. He does. She was like, so like he can use that against you if you
if you're not fat.
But it is. I mean, like if I'm leaving out 5 o'clock in the morning to run, and there's a fucking DoorDasher coming to the door leaving
at 5 a.m.
Yo, it'll be like 5, 6 a.m. in the morning. I'm either leaving the house or coming back in the house from a run. And she ordered food for breakfast. I'm like, really? Like you ordered food for breakfast, bro? Just go make some cereal. And it'd be like some shit like Chick-fil-A or some shit.
That's wild.
Early, I'm like this, and I don't want to. So I keep my thoughts to myself. I'm like, this is why you're fat. Like, why are you DoorDashing Chick-fil-A or whatever or Grubhub, whatever she got this early in the morning? Like, first. I mean, if you are gonna do that, I mean, if you are gonna eat cook something, that's healthier, and that's gonna be by and large healthier for you.
That's wild.
But no, I'm dead as like, because that happened more than once. It was one time, shit. I don't know when the person left. It was so fucking early in the morning. I'm like, when did she order this shit?
That is wild. But no, but like I said, man, if black women worked out, my God, even the ones we see at Planet. Well, I know you don't like black, but the black women I'll be seeing at Planet Fitness, especially that tall.
Some of them are in shape. I'm just not attracted to them.
No, I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. You're not attracted, but nobody worries.
I can separate not being attracted to them to saying that someone
is attractive,
is physically fit. Like being physically fit is always gonna make you more attractive. By and large, being physically fit is always gonna make you more attractive.
There's one in there, that tall, dark skin. Lord have mercy.
It was one that worked there too. But anyway, yeah.
Either way,
I don't know. But now, even if guys, so now trying to be physically fit, either you're gay or if you're a liberal white woman, you're a Nazi. Like, for a liberal white woman, if you're a guy that likes going to work out, you must be a Nazi. If you're a black woman, oh, he must be on the DL. Like, you can't even, like, just don't even try to please them. Like, seriously, don't.
No, one bitch said, if a man is focused on his career making too much money, he's gay.
That's what I'm saying. They literally call everything gay to shame a guy into doing something in it
that benefits them.
That benefits them.
Even
though that would benefit, being a physically fit man would benefit them. A man that is career minded and makes good money does benefit. These bitches go against their own self-interest because they just trying to be, because they're so caught up in man hating and the misandry, and it's allowed in our community. That's another reason why I kept saying we live in a matriarchy, because only here is such blatant misandry allowed. Like,
that's in America in general.
Yeah, but it's particularly like potent in the black community, because like I'll see my mom watching some show and they're laughing because this woman's talking about she just woke up out of some dream or something, and she's like, I hate men or something, and the whole crowd started laughing. It's one of those little stupid black female shows.
I got you.
What's the little fat black chick that's an actress? Not Jennifer Hudson, the other one, who was like a lower tier. She was on a Jamie Foxx show back in the day.
There's a lot of fat black women.
Yeah, I know, because most of them are fat. That's another problem. But anyway, it's funny because it's true. But yeah, so they all laughing, the whole crowd laughing. I'm like, imagine a black dude doing he'd have been canceled. Like,
yeah,
like he getting out of a coma or whatever it was. Like, I hate women. Like, that they would have been like, oh, he's gay, he's this and that. But it's funny when a woman says it.
I would say, no, I can see it from that point. Like I said, the trailer for the movie Is God Is. Like, once I saw the trailer,
is that new movie with
Vivica Fox? Yeah.
That shit look like trash.
It is trash.
She probably just happy to be in a movie again and not doing a commercial.
Probably so. But the whole premise of the movie is basically
the husband tried to kill her and now she wants to kill him.
But the kids never knew any of this until they found their mom as adults.
I thought in the trailer the daughters were saying they saw saw their dad trying to kill their mom.
No, she didn't. Now
she wants them to kill her.
No,
I mean to kill it.
They didn't know. They were little and they don't remember it, and they didn't even have contact with their mom.
Because the one girl is scarred like the mother.
They got caught in the fire, yeah, but they didn't know what happened. They don't know what happened. All they got is the mom side of the story.
Now the time to actually hate a black guy is like my friend in India. Shout out to Anmol. It's funny. Her last name is actually Rodriguez. Well, I can say because she's a public figure. Her name is Anmol Rodriguez. You wouldn't think an Indian person's last name would be Rodriguez, but there actually are women over there that have those names.
That is funny.
But she's a acid survivor. Like, her father, because she was born a girl, threw acid on her mother after her mother had her, damaging her and killing the mother.
That is wild.
So he went to prison, and she grew up in a I don't think in an orphanage. I think she grew up in an adoptive home or whatever. But now that would be cause. That's genuine cause to hate. Even then, she's not a man hater.
Like I said,
she still likes men. She still has a positive,
you can hate your father.
She still has a positive outlook on men. Like, she might hate her father, and no one in the world will blame her for it. But for women to be be so misandrous when nothing's bad, well, I won't say nothing's bad to them, but
when one man does something to you and then blame everybody for it is fucked up. But that's the thing.
And like I said, in her case, I can understand that because she actually comes from a culture
that is misogynistic.
Comes from a culture where that is not that it's acceptable. It's still illegal, but it is so common. It's common practice that there are acid attack survivors. Like the one that came into prominence under Obama. I think she won a Nobel Prize or something, and she's a acid attack survivor.
But that's my thing. In America, women don't. American women.
When you say patriarchy or misogyny, that's misogyny. When you live in a culture that allows you to throw acid in your wife or your daughter's face because you don't like either you didn't want a female child or you don't approve of their behavior, because that happens.
Why the
too.
chicken tikka masala not hot? Like, but that's the thing. American women don't know what misogyny is. So, or patriarchy for that matter. So, like I told you, I went to.
Well, black women all think Color Purple is real, so.
Well, nobody keeps.
And I've actually had people say, "Well, actually," I'm like, "No, there's no well, actually." No, the data does not support that shit. Men were not, by and large, beating the shit out of their
black
wives.
Men were not doing that. Black men were not, by and large, doing that. Yes, but abusive husbands exist in all cultures. It's not a black.
I was like, yeah, there was abusive husbands, but that, by and large, was not the de facto state of black families up until like, the late 20th century. Like that is fiction, and nowhere in the book is it even implied that was common.
And what's crazy is when black women make this statement about how black men are so violent.
Not to mention, and let me one last one. Not to mention that shows they never even read the book, because that's only the first half of the book, which is just the movie. So they probably only saw the movie. If they actually read the fucking book, which I actually had to do for a feminist class, like we just read that part, but I went ahead and read the whole book on my own. The whole second half of the book, she and Mr. become friends.
So wait, you had a feminist class, and the
feminist psychology class,
and the professor purposely only told y'all to read the part of the book.
Well, because we had to read selections from a whole bunch of different books, like.
But I just find it odd that she told you to read the half of the book.
Like also like Beloved.
Never read that, but I just find it.
But the movie, but you had the movie with Oprah and Danny
Never
Glover.
seen it.
I've
never seen it.
So you got Beloved, Color Purple. What's that classic Greek story? I forgot. Youth Eats, whatever. So a bunch of stuff like that. But so I just read the whole book on my own because we had selections that we had to read from different books and articles and stuff. I was like, I want to read the whole book because my mother made me watch The Color Purple when I was little. Like, we actually went to the movies, and in the scenes where Mr. was beating her, I was covering my eyes. I'm like 6 or 7 years. I was probably 6 years old or something.
You should have watched that movie.
Probably 5. I don't know.
I remember watching it.
But she uncovered my hand so I could watch him beating her. Why? But besides that, like I said, the movie is misleading because you would think it just leaves at that end. That's only the first half. The second half of the book, Mr. and Celie become friends, and he even falls in love with her, and tries to propose to her to get remarried, and she's like, no, let's just stay good friends. But the second half of the book, they become friends. He works to redress everything he did wrong to her in the first half of the book. You will never hear that from anyone talking about The Color Purple because most of them never read the whole fucking book. So that's
fair. No, you're not wrong. Like I said, American women don't know nothing about patriarchy or misogyny. Like,
yeah, I mean, unless you live in like a really close knit community, like Hutterite or Amish or that Mormon or something.
That it's a lot of different stuff. But at the end of the day, it's just like I said. We covered a lot. We talked about a lot. But I'm going back to my original point. Primitive mating standards are the problem in the black community. If we evolved our mating standards from just how tall somebody is or how big the butt is, I'm not even going to blame black men for that. Because you can't control how big your butt is. That's fine. Because, hey, I like big butts sometimes. It's okay. But if black women elevated their mating standards beyond, how many women he could get, or or dumb shit like how tall he is, and actually focus on something that matters, like, hey, is this person gonna be a good father? Are they responsible? Like, shit that actually matters. Actually, Kevin Saints made a valid point. If we were in medieval times right now, I think I'd be like near the hand of the king, I guess, if we based it off of education and all that. Yeah, most college educated black men will be considered lords.
Well, yeah, I mean, in the Middle Ages, the only one who could afford the education were either nobles or part of the
family, the royal family, or the royal court.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's including nobles. I'm saying like either nobles or people part of the priestly class. That was it. And then wealth. Very rarely like wealthy merchants. They could as well. So
we will all be nobles. That's my point though. It's all the problems mainly in our community boils down to primitive mating standards. Stop rewarding degenerates and low class people with pussy. Just stop it. That's number one. Number two, we have to get rid of this. I hate this. I know it's probably been called a pretty woman syndrome, and China's trying to do away with it too. But we need to get rid of that. Like,
pretty woman syndrome?
So basically, I don't know if anybody else calling it that, but I'm calling it that. Because basically the plot of the movie A Pretty Woman is you have some prostitute who meets this real rich guy, and
again, that's different from the book too. Like in the book, dude was way, like, he was not that nice to her as in the movie.
I mean, she's a prostitute.
Exactly. Like in the book, it was way more.
But that's my point.
He treated her like a hoe.
But that's my point. Is we live in a society that promotes this fantasy of you can
damn close.
Yeah, you can do as a woman. And look, women can do whatever the fuck they want to do with their bodies. It is your choice. I don't care. But to
live with the consequences.
Yeah, you have to live with the consequences, and they don't want to do that. Like I said, primitive mating standards are the problem. That just solves everything. Just getting rid of the primitive mating standards will solve so much.
And then on our original point, we were talking about like the dating out and the fetishizing.
Oh, that's what I wanted to get back to.
Yeah.
So, as far as what O'Shea punk at, I'm sorry. I disagree. I'm not gonna say that.
I'm not gonna
I'm not gonna bash him, but
I'll stop bashing people on my stuff now.
I'm not gonna bash him. I respect your platform. I'm not trying to be trying to bash.
No, go ahead. You say what you want.
No, I just think he's dumb in the regard of saying, well, black men who date out most of their women are mid. Like, bro, yes, you have some black men who, when they do date out and they get white women, but I think that's only a subsection of black men, because you usually only see that down south where they get a fat white woman.
Yeah, and
even if you talking about, and you're using Jamie Foxx as a standard, like, come on, most men are not Jamie Foxx. Most men are not movie actors, comedians, and songwriters. That's not the typical case.
Well, he did. Well, to be fair, he did make that point. He's like, well, yeah, most of you brothers aren't like Jamie Foxx. He said, but still, he said, my point is, if someone like him in his position is only dating the mid, he's like, you brothers are, you know.
So if that's the case, who the fuck you dating?
He's smart enough not to put who he dates online.
Exactly, because
but my point, but to counter that though, every time he suggests the type of women he's into, most people,
they always fat.
No, they're not fat, but most people don't find his selection of women that attractive. Like I said, like I said, when he went on the attack against Lizzo, saying she got her Negro wake up call, he was also saying, but yeah, she's looking attractive now, and she lost weight.
Looks
and I'm like, that bitch looks like an orc. Like, I'm sorry, you sitting there trying to criticize these men for dating mid chicks that aren't black, and gonna say Lizzo looks attractive.
I mean, to be fair, if he's gonna say, well, most men are Jamie Foxx, cool, but bro, look in the mirror.
Oh, he's
as long as he undenies.
No, he's not in denial that he's ugly. He'll
but I say, bruh.
Yeah, so I could say that because he'll say it himself. He does admit that he's ugly.
So as long as he admits he's ugly, he has to lead with his wallet.
Because he was saying when he used to live in Poland, he was like, yeah, a lot of brothers were messing with the Polish chicks, and he said he had plenty of opportunities. He said, I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of attractive Polish women, but he said he just wasn't into dating out. But he was like, a lot of these guys who did, most of those Polish women they were with were mid. Again, why does it matter?
Policing though.
That was the second video he did for the Jamie Foxx thing, because he was saying everyone in the comment section basically saying, why are you depolicing? Which is what pro-blackity blacks do. They like to dick police, because that is the last tool they have in their shed to try to get
and that doesn't
affluent black men
to date lower tier black women. And it doesn't work because even, first of all, Umar Johnson, I'm not calling him doctor no more. Does he really have a doctorate?
He has a doctorate in philosophy.
And what philosophy?
School philosophy.
Okay, so he really
school psychology.
Okay, so he really does have a doctorate.
He has a PsyD, not a PhD.
So does that count?
It counts.
Okay, so I respect people's titles, because if it was the other way around, yeah, you can call me whatever, but you better put doctor in front of it. I'm cool with that. So Dr. Umar is a prime example of someone who got 2 baby mamas? Because at least 2. I know for a fact 2, and still try to do that dip policing thing. Like, bro, go raise your kids.
And that's another problem is all these pro-blackity blacks, all the ones I see are never married. And then the one who is married, his woman, well, you know, but I don't, because he likes to smoke, so I ain't fucking with it like that. But Yeah, I mean, at least he's married, but his woman ain't even.
I don't care about how the woman looks. Look, my thing
I'm not talking about what. I'm talking about her like her ethnic makeup. But
okay,
my point is like all these pro-black blacks be like, you guys need to marry, but you need to do. O'Shea isn't married. Umar isn't married. My friend who used to talk shit, he isn't married. Like, why is that all these dudes telling other brothers who to stick their dick in and who to marry, and they're not married themselves? I don't. And then, like I said,
the only one I respect BGS because at least he'll say, look, yeah, you may have a problem with black American women, but there's other black women across all the diaspora. Yeah. Now, I'll give him that. I don't know if he's married or not. That's not my business. I don't care.
I wouldn't care if they're married or not, except for the. I don't care if they're married or not, except for the ones who try to tell other men what to do.
Right.
Like, once you tell other men what to do, but you're not living it yourself, then I'm gonna call.
Right. But he doesn't push that. BGS really doesn't push the whole you gotta be married thing like that. So I don't really trip about it. But like I said, I am pro-black, as whatever that means nowadays, because who knows. I'm not going to sit here trying to find it because it doesn't matter. The point is, you ain't going to tell me who I got to marry. Now, but like I said, though, I take the same stance that black women take. You can't be pro-black and not marry black. So cool. If that's the standard, I don't want to hear shit about Kamala Harris. I don't want to hear shit about Justice Brown. I don't want to hear shit about Don Lemon, who, even though he's a fag, he married a white man. Van Jones, is he gay? I think he gay.
No, but he's with a white woman.
Traitor.
This nigga is always crying on CNN.
Always fucking crying.
Like it's like is he getting paid to cry?
Yes.
Like this nigga.
Probably so.
Man, I just don't understand what's you know, get your bald head crying ass off.
But that's my point though. Like all these people who have so much to say about black people sitting together, they're not even married to black people. And that's the crazy thing. Like even the gay blacks, and I find it hilarious when these sissies talk about heterosexual black men. Nigga, white gay people don't like you. You can't even date out. Matter of fact, bro, the LGBT mafia is racist as shit. When I tell you the alphabet mafia,
I shouldn't be surprised.
The alphabet mafia is racist as fuck. Again, I don't know why people thought just because two dudes like rubbing their dicks together somehow it just erase all their biases. Like, no, those motherfuckers are just as racist. Just because you're gay doesn't take away the fact you're gay people voted for Trump. There was literally a gays for Trump.
Well, I mean, you never heard of the Lincoln Log Republicans?
Yes, I heard of them too. But that's my point. Like, being gay, just because you just because you're a rump wrangler doesn't mean you don't support the Klan. And that's why I find black gay people, particularly the dudes, funny as shit. Like, yo, they don't even like you. Your own group don't even like you. The only people you have as allies is black women. And they don't even like you. They have a parasitic relationship with black women.
Parasocial?
Yes. I'm saying parasitic. I don't want to. I'm using the word properly.
Okay.
They will leech onto black gay men for the perks for some of the perks they would get from straight men. Like, I ain't got to pay for nothing. But the moment you cease to be useful in that regard, your sexuality will be attacked.
I thought you were going to say it from the point that they'll be friends with these gay men, but then they'll use homosexuality as a shaming tactic against straight men.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's a parasitic relationship.
Yeah.
In the sense of they will leech off a gay man because they'll get the perks. Like, if they out with their gay male friend, he'll say, yeah, girl, a real man pay for that. I ain't gonna let them, because I'm still a man, so I'm gonna go and pay. They do shit like that. They'll still pay because they still want to operate in a sense of, I'm a man, quote unquote, so I'm going to still do the masculine thing and provide, quote unquote. And black women will go along with it until the fact he disagrees with them on something, and now behind closed doors his sexuality is used as a weapon against men that they actually want but can't get. And that's why I say it's a parasitic relationship. Like, you'll leech off of this person for their resources, but then criticize them in church, tell your sons you better not be gay, and call other people gay because you don't get your way. And gay black men will sit there and take it. They won't say nothing. Or you'll be like the faggy on YouTube. Yeah, I'm gonna call him a faggy because it's and sidebar. If you can go on the internet and call black men a cancer,
yeah, that's crazy,
and receive zero backlash, I'm gonna call a faggot a faggot.
Fair.
So this faggot also had a video of him threatening to attack a black woman. Black woman didn't say shit. And like I said, it's crazy to me how these faggots will fight women. No, I'll lie to you not. Bro,
I know.
Black faggies will fight black women like they will square up with these bitches like they dudes. Now, don't get me wrong. Black gay men are still men. Actually, them motherfuckers work out more than most heterosexual dudes, but for different reasons.
But that leads to the stereotype that people like to be physically fit or gay because
black women not smart and they listen to a fucking faggot who didn't even go to the gym anyway. Like, yo, the faggot who said that online, bro, your nephew could whip his ass. The dude is maybe 100 pounds. Like, I'll beat the shit out of yes, I'm sorry, I don't want to get you demonetized. But bro, the faggot who started the little DL whisperer, whatever, started saying that shit, bro, a fucking 12-year-old would stomp him. But that's besides the point. You know, like, these dudes will fight women faithfully with no hesitation. But black women still their cheerleaders. Now, the parasocial thing, that's just living vicariously.
Yeah.
And that's what they did with Megan Thee Stallion, which I thought was dumb. Like, who gives a fuck? First of all, there was no evidence of cheating. All she said was he said he don't think he could be monogamous.
And the funny thing is,
so who did he cheat on you with? Actually, nobody would have known.
And the funny thing is,
shut the fuck up.
The funny thing is, his whole roster looks better than her. His whole previous roster looks better than her.
Did he have like Coco Jones or something like that? I think they say he had Coco Jones.
I don't know. I mean, they show all the women. Not all of them were black. I think most of them were non-black. But
no, he had a few black women.
I said some of them were black. I said, but I think most of them weren't. But either still, his whole roster looks better than her.
And they call him.
And like I said, even when I was like thoroughly attracted to black women, I still wouldn't have been into Megan Thee Stallion because she doesn't. I mean, those weren't the type of looks that I look for.
Like her smile.
Back when she just.
What? No, when she tries to, it's not a smile.
Her face, like, first of all, I don't like the makeup with the little Egyptian bullshit. I don't like that. But she's not. She's not someone I would have been attracted to, even in my, when I was dating women, like black women. And it's not a color issue because I dated dark skinned women too. So it's not the color issue. It's just she wouldn't have been someone I would have been attracted to, even when I was into black women. And now that I'm not into black women, I find it even less appealing. So
I don't want to date a drunk, especially an angry drunk.
I don't want to date a liar who's going to set someone up. But yeah.
but
I mean, just on the physical looks, she wouldn't have been someone who appealed to me even back in the day. So
but that's my point though, is like this, like I said, the black community just had, if we can just get the primitive mating standard under control, just start there. The whole game.
And my thing is, I want to end it with the dating out thing. I understand why pro-blacks don't think you should date out and be pro-black. I just don't think they have good reasons to support that other than their own personal distaste. Because when they reason it out, it's either when you date out or marry out, whatever, your money is leaving the community, which one is a form of pocket watching, and two, it also doesn't make sense. Your family gets that money, not necessarily the wife's community. Because I said, by that same line of reasoning, if black women were dating out, then per their logic, the black community should be making out from the money they're bringing in from these rich white men that they supposedly getting, which they aren't. But even if they were, let's say they were, then by pro-blacks reasoning, all that money should be coming into the black community.
Well, I meant to bring on that topic, that point earlier. The thing is, when these so-called black women get with these rich white men, they're not married. The white man's not marrying them; they're just dating them. Case in point was the black woman that went unalived in Tanzania.
Ashley Jones or Jones, whatever.
Whatever.
Janae,
whatever that bitch name is. But anyway,
Janae Ashley, whatever.
Yeah, whatever that bitch name is. But anyway, she was with that dude for a good while, but he never married her. But, and somebody pointed this out, and they made a valid point. She bragged on social media how they were doing all this baller shit. This bitch didn't have no life insurance. This bitch didn't have.
Oh no, and she used to dog black men.
I know she used to dog black, but fuck that bitch. Nobody, we already knew that. But the point is, you ain't have no life for all the shit women talk about. Oh yeah, girl, boss up. Make sure you got something in case that black man ain't shit. This bitch was with a whole millionaire. Didn't have no life insurance policy. Didn't have no money put away. No nothing. All this bitch had to her name was Instagram photos. Her fucking family had to get a fucking GoFundMe to get her fucking body back. And on top of that, it kind of makes sense because now when you look at who the mom divorce ended up marrying.
Well, he sure was after he got accused of murder. I know he ain't gonna pay for it. I'm like, I wouldn't either.
Not even that. When you look at who the mom ended up with and who the dad remarried to, and you started seeing how their interaction, it makes sense why your daughter ended up. It makes sense now. That's why I don't respect divestors. That's why I was gonna say, when we talk the money lead the community thing, it doesn't work for black women because again, most of those white men aren't marrying them, and the ones that
I'm saying even if they were, I'm saying that you still don't see it happening. Like right. For the women who are married out, there's not money flowing back into the black community. So that whole line of reasoning from pro-blacks is like if you marry out, your money and your resources are leaving the black community. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. It's going to your family, whatever that mixed race family is. No,
I agree.
And my other point is, why would you turn around? Why, just on a strategic level, why would you turn away potential allies? So you're going to turn away people who agree with your agenda or narrative because they're not dating the way you want them to date? Like, strategically, that's stupid as well. Like, why would you turn down? Like, look at all the prominent black men who dated out, who did things for the community. If they imagine where we would be at if they were pushed out. Martin Luther King almost married a German woman. Malcolm X was known for his for playing in the snow before he
joined the Nation of Islam.
Before he joined the nation. Again, Thurgood Marshall. His second wife was Filipino. So,
but black women they don't count the Asian women.
Reginald F. No, they yes they do.
I guess now they do.
Reginald F. Lewis, or like also because. For instance, like they always dog out
Clarence Thomas.
No, not Clarence Thomas. He married a white woman, but yeah, they get on him for that too. But
some stuff he does.
I'm talking about Wesley Snipes. They always dog him for dating Asian women. He has never came out his mouth like me and said he's not attracted to black women.
Actually, yeah, Wesley Snipes has never said a bad thing about.
They dogged him for decades, and he dated prominent black women like Halle Berry and others.
Well, Halle Berry just can't keep a man.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you can't say he didn't date black women. He definitely dated black women. He dated good-looking women. He dated what they would call baddies. Like, Holly was...
Back in the day, yeah.
Holly in the 90s was the prototype of a baddie. She became a Bond girl. You can't say that she, like... But they dogged that man because...
Did he marry her?
So they dated, and then at the same time she was dating this R&B singer, and one of them beat her and made her partially deaf in her ear. She won't say which one. I don't think it was Wesley. I think it was the other guy. But in any case, he dated, by their definition, baddies, but he went with Asian women, and ever since then...
Did he marry an Asian woman, or he just dated them?
No, he dated. Like, he married two of them, I think.
So here's how they move the goalposts. So here's what the blackity blacks do. They'll move the goalposts from date to marriage. So here's what they'll say. Oh, well, yeah, you did, but did you marry? You got to marry her. Cool. But did you? And like I said, with that, my it's only been the same thing with Dr. Umar, who always says it's marriage bullshit. You didn't marry your baby mama, so I don't want to care. I don't really care what you have to say. You didn't marry your baby mamas.
And he's sitting there dogging out his daughter online.
I didn't see that part, but so he's a definition of the very lame.
You ain't see he was like because his daughter was coming. Like, I understand she was kind of bashing him, but she was coming from a point like, where was her dad at? And he's saying, well, I reached out to her, but your mom won't let me talk to you. All this stuff. You didn't see all of this?
No,
this happened last year, like,
but that's
2 years ago.
That's so crazy that
he's living the very.
You're living the very life
that he criticizes other dudes for. Like, that's what he's just a con man.
Yeah.
Especially talk to me when that fucking
school's finished.
FDMG is. That was funny because like when he was accused of trying to get with that white woman on camera, we saw him flirting with the girl. I was not trying to get with the Snow Bunny, my brothers. I was building FDMG Academy. My brothers. I was not messing with a Snow Bunny. Black queens forever, Snow Bunnies never. I'm busy building the FDMG community, my brothers. Like, nigga, stop. Oh shit! But yeah, that's my. But those are my two critiques. Is like when they talk about black men can be pro-black if they date now. Because one, again, like I said, it's just not a logical talking point. And two, strategically, why would you turn away allies?
Especially high-performing allies.
Like I said, imagine the people in the past who dated out, who've done very important things for the black community. Like the Brown versus Board of Education. She married a white man, huh? No, the Brown versus Board of Education, that was, Thurgood Marshall when he was...
Oh, okay. No, I thought it was, even if we talk about the dating out thing, the first interracial couple was a black woman and a white man.
But yeah.
Loving versus Virginia. But that's the crazy thing to me is how they always say, well, black men always wanted to date white. Bro, black men didn't even go. It was a black woman and a white man who went as far as the Supreme Court to get married. Black men weren't into white women as y'all try to make it seem. Like I said,
strategically, they're losing a lot of allies. Because if you're going to tell people, if you're going to say, basically, you're not invited to the cookout, the proverbial cookout, because you dating Becky, or you dating Maricela, or you dating, you dating Sean Lee, so then, they're not allowed to the cookout.
But you're gonna invite.
That's problematic because also, statistically, like there's a lot of black men now marrying out, and that number is growing.
No, it's bad. So
the numbers.
No, it is.
I mean, they're still the minority, but they are growing.
No, it's bad. Bro.
I know. I've seen the numbers.
No, it's like 30. It's pushing. If it's not 30% already, it will be by the end.
It's around 30% now.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think.
So you're gonna push away a whole bunch of potential allies just because you don't like where they're sticking their thing. Like,
and that's crazy. You know what? I'm okay with it. And
it's like that you just like the pro blacks, like you deserve to lose if you're turning away allies. If Nick Fuentes of all people, a white supremacist who says he hates black. He hates black. He doesn't want to be around black people. He's now reaching out to black people saying we all need to come together to fight against. And actually was on his platform. I kid you not, saying all you people need to vote Democrat. He literally said that you guys need to vote Democrat. He said, and blacks, whites, all of us, gays, whatever, we all need to come together to basically hate. To stop the government from supporting Israel. Basically, that was his point. Is that we all need to come together to hate Israel, which, okay, whatever. Yeah, I'm against that. But still, even he's strategic enough to reach out to the people he normally would be enemies with. He's a grifter anyway. But aside from that, even he's strategic enough to reach out to people who normally wouldn't be in his camp, why can't pro-blacks do that? You niggas aren't smart.
Because again, it's not. No, it's not. I won't even say, it's about control. So here's why I say the black community is here's why I'll give the matriarchy argument more so. When it comes to the pro-black movement, it's been hijacked by feminists, particularly black feminists. Because if we go back into when the Black Marshall came out,
a lot of these pro-blacks are just simps and
feminists. It's simps and feminists. That's
simps and panderers. Yep.
That's pretty much all the pro-black movement now is nothing but it's really a movement for black women at the top, children maybe female children, women, girls, faggots. That's the order. That's literally the order of the pro-black movement, and then the simps at the bottom. That's it. Like that's what.
But I mean, they use those guys as the prominent voice to try to reach out to black men. But the thing is,
heterosexual black men are not listening to faggots.
Not even the gay men. Most of the heterosexual most successful black men are not taking Umar seriously, and the other pro-black.
The men that they actually need are not taking them seriously.
Yeah.
The only people who would take Umar
and Umar did actually have a lot of male supporters back in the day until he started fleecing people with this FDMG Academy, which would never be built.
Yep. Like I said,
Tariq at least built his museum.
Like I said, at the end
he got receipts.
Like I said, man, at the end of the day, the whole pro-black movement is...
But like I said, the pro-black movement just doesn't make sense. Like they have illogical talking points, and then they push away allies because they want to dick police.
Like I said, once I saw them accept Kamala and AOC and SCOTUS Brown, despite them having white husbands, and their argument was, well, they couldn't find any black men in their fields. So, like, that just didn't make sense to me. So, black men... So, and like I said, their argument never made sense. So, there's an abundance of black women in these high-profile, high-paying fields, but no black men. Interesting.
Yeah, AOC constantly bashes black men. She got the whitest of white husbands. That red, red-headed, freckled guy.
Yeah, she always talks bad about white men.
Ilhan Omar has a white man.
I know. And she's the main one talking about how evil white men are. And that's why I said I wish they could
deport her ass. Like prove that like she came here because she tried to marry her brother and
deport ass.
And what do you call it? Denaturalize her and send her ass back.
I'm with it. But like I said, I can't take, as pro-black as I am, quote unquote.
Like I said, I used to be pro-black, but by today's standard, I couldn't be pro-black because
that's what I'm saying.
I don't prefer black women. So
not even that. I'm just not a feminist. So by their standards, I hate black women. So I'm fine with that. I'm okay with being told I hate black women. Yep, I hate black women so much. I hate black women so much that I don't risk my safety to protect black women. But okay. But like I said, at this point,
right? I did a whole thing on my campus because you know where the University of Maryland like is right on the line where DC is. So we had a lot of people coming on the campus robbing students and all this sort of stuff. So a bunch of us in the Black Student Union, we were gonna start like basically like a I don't want to say escort because people take it wrong, like a bodyguard thing where we was gonna like
just walk the girls to their
walk the girls back and forth to like their dorms and stuff to make sure they're safe at night because all these attacks. But but here people take it. I hate, but but whatever.
Hey man, look, like I said, I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson a long time ago.
And I headed up a group called Brothers in the Struggle, but whatever.
Like I said, I learned my lesson a long time ago that, like I said, black women have primitive mating standards and they reward degeneracy with pussy.
Yeah.
And then create the life from then create Gloctavius Jr.
Oh, are they missing an animal or something?
I think so.
Another.
But anyway, yeah, they reward degeneracy with access to their bodies, birth Gloctavius Jr., and then want to ask everybody else in the community.
You need to trademark that because people use that now all the time. Just like they all use my term. For people who don't know, and I don't know, a lot of people don't believe me now when I say it, but I invented the term rice bunny. That term was not used before 2011 when I literally created that term.
I can't forget. I do need to trademark that because
I need to trademark rice bunny. That has become such a common term. It became so common that was used. If you remember, like 10 years ago, back in China, when the women were probably not 10 years, maybe 8 years, whatever. They had like a protest against what was happening against women there, and so the name of the movement in English translated to rice bunny.
That is funny.
I'm like, the fuck, man! I should have trademarked this term. Man, I could have made so much money.
I do need to trademark Gloctavius because everybody is using it.
I swear, no one will probably believe me that I made that term.
Nobody believes me when I say
because even on Urban Dictionary, like because the term is on there, I went in there and said I invented this term. People are like, no, you didn't. Like,
okay, no, I feel you. Like I said, I need to trademark Gloctavius because I don't want people because people are using it a lot, and I'm like,
yeah, I've seen it in circles. So, and people probably won't believe you
They won't.
Like, because unless you're like a famous person, like they're not gonna believe.
Well,
like,
niggas.
The average person came up with a term that went viral on the internet, like rice bunny. Like everyone uses the term now. I literally started that term because I even for my own to do my own due diligence. Several years ago, I looked it up to see if this term was being used before I made it up in 2011. No, I did not see it anywhere because I thought maybe that this Chinese tennis star had used it before. I don't think she was using it before I came up with it either.
Like I said, man, unless you're white, niggas don't believe anything unless it came from a white person or a celebrity. Parasocial behavior like a motherfucker. But we took up a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, my whole point is, if you want to be pro blackity black and still date out, do it. Like, if they don't like it, then you can either
create your own black community at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
save yourself.
Exactly.
I'm gonna probably put that in the end of this video. Because I got the little thing with my wife, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna end it here.
Save yourself, black man.